There was a time when you could feel the chemistry between two people. Imagine spending time with a beautiful woman, and even though you're not dating, something really special is happening beneath the surface. But how do you make that connection stronger and make sure she feels your absence when you're not around? The answer lies in the words you use. Stoicism tells us that how we talk to others can have a big effect on our relationships and how they see us. It's not just what we say, but how we say it. If you pick your words carefully, you can leave an impression that lasts long after you've stopped talking. We'll show you 9 strong words that will make her miss you terribly. These aren't your average pickup lines. They're sincere ways of showing appreciation and connection that go beyond flattery. They get to the heart of who she is, creating a stronger bond and keeping you in her thoughts, even when you're not together. So let's dive in and learn how to master the language of attraction to keep her coming back for more. Don't forget to like this video. Sign up for more ideas that can change the way you relate to others. Number 1. I was thinking about you today. Picture this. During the course of your busy day, whether you're working on a project, going to the gym, or just taking some time to think, her presence crosses your thoughts. It could be a funny memory you shared with her, or a conversation that made you think. Stoic wisdom tells us to keep our emotions in check, but it also reminds us to show them when it's appropriate, especially when it can strengthen a connection. Now, let's take a moment to think about what would happen if you didn't hold back, and instead sent her a text message saying, "I was thinking about you today." This simple action, even if it's just to let her know that you're thinking about her, has a lot of meaning. It's not just the words themselves, but the Stoic idea of intentional action. You're not looking for attention or validation. You're letting her know that she's important to you, even when you're alone and feeling independent. Feels her feelings and starts to wonder what made you think of her. Was it something she said or a memory you both shared? She is interested, and this is where Stoicism comes in. You don't try to get her attention because you don't need to. You're happy with your own life. The Stoic way of life is based on self-control and independence. You let her come to you by keeping your emotions in check and not overreacting. You naturally attract people to you, including her. Imagine you had a light-hearted conversation with her about something you both like a movie or an upcoming event. A few days later, you were going about your business when you remembered that conversation. Instead of overthinking it or worrying about how she'll react, you sent her a message in a calm and direct way. "I laughed when I thought about what we talked about today. Not a lot of pressure or expectations. It's a simple way to let her know you're thinking of her without being needy. When she gets that message, she feels seen and valued. It's a thoughtful reminder that she's still on your mind, even though you've been focused on your own path. This kind of thoughtful, the way you talk to her will stay with her, and she will think of you even when you're not there. The power is in making her feel appreciated in a way that is subtle and almost effortless. By staying calm and in charge, you pique her interest and curiosity, and she starts to miss you not because you're not available, but because you're there. When it does happen, this approach also gives her room to respond and interact on her own terms. You're not bombarding her with attention or expecting anything from her. Instead, you're showing her that you can think deeply, reflect, and act with intention, all of which are traits that people admire and want to emulate. In essence, you're giving her something that lasts longer than a brief conversation. You're giving her a reason to think about you even when you're not there. The next time she comes to mind, remember that a simple word sent with care and without expecting anything in return can have a big effect. It's not about being in charge or getting attention. It's about making an impression by taking calm, focused step number 2. I can't wait to see you again. Exciting people can remember moments for a long time after they've happened. When you tell someone, "I can't wait to see you again," they remember those moments. It's more than just words. It's a deliberate way to leave an impression that builds anticipation. But here's where Stoic wisdom can make this method better. It's not enough to just show excitement. You need to show it with confidence and control. These are two qualities that make you stand out more. In Stoicism, we learn that our actions shouldn't control us, but they can be useful when you break up with a woman if you know how to use them right. You're interested in showing a calm enthusiasm that plants a seed in her mind that can grow into a sense of longing and curiosity. You're showing her that you value the connection while also giving her time to think about you. This balance of expression and restraint is what makes her miss you. It's not about neediness, it's about giving her something important without being too much. For example, at the end of a great date, instead of saying goodbye in a generic way, look her in the eyes and say, "I'm really looking forward to seeing you again." When you say this with calm confidence, it means more than just excitement. It sends a subtle message that you value the time you have together, but aren't desperate for more. You value the moment, but aren't too attached to the outcome. A classic Stoic way of thinking. By leaving her with this thought, you set off a natural psychological reaction. She'll start to think about when the next meeting is. She'll start to imagine what might happen, and in that time of uncertainty, she starts to miss you. As the saying goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and your words are making it possible for that to happen. But as a Stoic, you know that words are not enough. Marcus Aurelius said that actions show what kind of person someone is. If you say you're excited to see her again, make sure you follow through with the next meeting. Show her that you're just as reliable as you are excited to see her. Being consistent is rare, and she will see it as something that makes you unique. The beauty of this approach is in how simple and in charge it is. You're not only getting her excited, but you're also keeping your own peace and balance. You're giving her something to think about, while also showing her that you are calm and in charge of your own emotions. This kind of calm confidence pulls her in and makes her want more, so remember a simple thing the next time you say goodbye. She will think about you long after you're gone if you back up, "I'm eager to see you again," with action and calmness. It's during these times of excitement and your quiet confidence that she will start to miss you and look forward to the next time you see each other before we move on to the next point. Take a moment to think about what we just talked about. The power of anticipation combined with calm confidence can leave a lasting impression, and it's all about controlling your emotions. If this message speaks to you, please like this video and leave a comment with your thoughts. Or just type, "I'm in charge of my feelings," to show that you are serious about controlling your feelings. Now let's talk about the third phrase, "That makes me think of you." Have you ever thought about how one phrase can create a bond that goes beyond words? The way you talk to someone can leave such a deep impression that she thinks about you long after the conversation is over. One of the best ways to make someone miss you is to connect your thoughts of her with things that make you happy. It's not about being in touch all the time, it's about those well-timed, thoughtful moments that show how much she means to you. For example, you're walking through a park and see a flower that reminds you of her eyes. Instead of letting that thought pass by, you send her a simple message. You could easily keep this to yourself, but you decide to text her that the song on the radio made you think of her today. These aren't big gestures, but they show that she's a part of your everyday life, even when you're not with her. Stoicism isn't about constantly showing affection or chasing it. It's about being present and thoughtful in the moments that matter. When you say things like, "That makes me think of you," you show her that she's an important part of your life. You're planting seeds of connection that grow stronger every time you reach out with a genuine thought or memory. These little messages remind her of how much she means to you, even when you don't say, "I love you." This will not only show her that she is important to you, but it will also create an unspoken bond where simple moments hold weight. Over time, she will start to associate certain things with you too, and soon you'll both find yourself thinking of each other at random times during the day. The flower in the park, the song on the radio, these things will become signs of your connection. She'll miss those times when you recognized her, and you'll miss her too. This method comes from the Stoic idea of mindfulness. You make her feel important and valued in your life, not by paying attention to her all the time, but by letting her know that she's always on your mind. This creates an emotional depth that makes her realize how meaningful your presence is, even when you're not there. She starts to feel the weight of your absence because you've made it clear that she matters to you. As this bond grows, it becomes something special, a shared history of moments that only the two of you understand. The more you can connect her to the events in your life, the more she will feel connected to you. This isn't about manipulation, it's about real connection. Being Stoic means knowing that patience and subtlety are often the keys to the best relationships. By building these little bridges between you and her, you create a connection that makes her miss your presence and long for the thoughtful moments you share. Ultimately, it's these small acts of thoughtfulness that create a strong emotional bond that strengthens over time. She will start to see that your absence speaks as loudly as your presence because you've shown her that she's part of your life in ways she may not have realized. And she will miss you not just because of what you do, but because of how you make her feel. Consider this scenario: you're with someone who truly gets you. There's no need to explain every little thing, because they can read between the lines. They pick up on your thoughts, your feelings, and the nuances of who you are without you needing to say a word. It's rare, and when you find that kind of understanding, it creates a powerful connection. But here's where most people miss an opportunity. They feel this connection, but don't acknowledge it. If you want to make a lasting impression and create a bond that keeps her thinking about you, one that lingers in her mind, you have to express it in a meaningful way. In Stoicism, relationships are built on shared understanding and recognizing the depth of another person's character while maintaining your own sense of self. The Stoics believe that true power comes from internal strength, not from needing validation. So when you look her in the eyes and say, "You truly understand me," it's not just a statement, it's an affirmation of something deeper. It's an acknowledgement that she sees the real you, and that level of recognition is both rare and valuable. Let's say you told a story about a tough time in your life, like how you stayed calm under pressure, or how you bounced back from a loss. She listens carefully, shows understanding, and maybe even shares her own thoughts to show that she understands exactly what you're saying. At that moment, you pause, take a deep breath, and say, "You really understand me." It's not flattery or an attempt to impress her. It's a genuine recognition of the bond you're building. And here's the beauty of it. When you show that you understand her, you're drawing her closer without even trying. She'll feel valued, not because you want her approval, but because you've made her a part of something deeper, a shared connection that's based on mutual understanding. When you say these words, you're doing more than just complimenting her. You're raising the relationship to a level that most people never reach. Most men focus on shallow things, trying to impress her with flashy gestures or clever lines. But Stoicism teaches us that what really matters is the connection between the mind and spirit. When you let her know that you appreciate more than just her good looks or surface-level charm, she'll feel valued. You can see how smart she is, how emotionally intelligent she is, and how deeply she can connect with you. Think about how powerful this moment is. When you leave, she's not just thinking about what you said. She's replaying that moment of connection in her mind. It's not the big gestures that make someone miss you. It's the real understanding moments. The times you made her feel like she saw something in you that no one else does, and because you're coming from a place of emotional strength and composure, it shows her that you don't need her approval to feel good about yourself. This is the key to making her miss you. When you show that you value her understanding without being dependent on it, you give her a reason to keep thinking about you in Stoic terms. You're not attaching your happiness to her reaction. You stay calm and self-sufficient, but you've opened the door to a deeper connection that goes beyond the surface. Women are attracted to men who can show depth without losing their sense of self, and by confirming her understanding in such a calm and sure way, you become unforgettable. Now that we've talked about the deep effects of confirming true understanding in a relationship, it's time to think about what resonates with you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone truly understood you without you having to explain yourself? If this message hit home for you, share your thoughts in the comments or simply type "See Beyond Surface Level Charm" to let us know you're with us on this deeper level journey. We love hearing from you and seeing how these Stoic ideas apply to your life. With that said, let's move on to the next phrase, and welcome to phrase 5 of What's Coming Next. What really moves someone isn't just hearing a compliment, but feeling deeply understood. If you want to make a lasting effect on a woman, you need to focus on more than just surface-level flattery. Stoicism teaches us to live with purpose, to be fully present in the present moment, and to see beyond the obvious. When you do this in your conversations, you create a connection so real that she can't help but think of you even when you're not there. One way to really make her miss you is to show that you notice the unique things that make her who she is. People may tell you that you're pretty or smart, but those compliments don't stick with you because they don't show you more about who she is. Stoicism tells us to see past what's obvious and get to the heart of the person we're facing. This means focusing on the small, personal details about her that others might miss. Instead of making a general compliment, say, "I love how you," and then add something specific that only someone really paying attention would notice. For example, you could say, "I love how you light up when you talk about your favorite book," or "I love how you're focusing on these little things" will show her that you're not just someone giving her compliments, you genuinely see her for who she is. This level of attention will stick with her, making her think of you long after the conversation is over. Now think about how this fits with Stoic principles. The Stoics stressed living a good life and being wise, which includes being deliberate with your words. When you compliment a woman in this way, you're practicing mindfulness. You're not just giving her empty praise, you're giving her something real. It's this kind of sincerity that leaves an impression. The Stoics also believed in emotional self-control, and by choosing your words carefully, you're showing that you are not swayed by the superficial. Instead, you focus on what is real, substantial, and meaningful. This approach isn't about manipulating someone into missing you. It's about being true to yourself and embracing Stoic virtues of awareness, presence, and thoughtfulness. When you talk to her in this manner, you're not just making her feel good in the moment, you're creating a lasting memory that she will return to time and time again. She'll start to realize that you offer something different, something more meaningful than what she's used to, and that's when she'll begin to miss your presence in her life. By incorporating Stoic principles into the way you communicate, you're not just complimenting her, you're offering her a glimpse into a deeper, more thoughtful way of seeing the world, and it's this depth that makes you unforgettable. The next time you speak to her, think about what you truly admire and express it with intention. Before long, you'll find that she's thinking of you, wondering when she'll have the pleasure of hearing your thoughtful words again. This is how you make a lasting impression, one that lingers in her mind and heart, making her miss you when you're not there. Number 6. You're not like everyone else when it comes to connecting with people. Having the need to feel unique and unreplaceable is one of the strongest wants. In romantic relationships, this need is even stronger. People like to feel unique and important to someone they care about. Telling a woman you're different from everyone else can help you stand out. Taps into this desire, but this simple saying can mean a lot more if you think about it with a Stoic attitude. Socrates taught us to look at the world and the people in it with clarity, without illusion or distraction. So when you tell her, "You're unlike anyone I've ever met," mean it. You're not just saying nice things, you're recognizing and appreciating her uniqueness with genuine awareness. Sincerity is the key here. She needs to know that you see her for who she really is, not just a passing fancy or a superficial attraction. It's about getting to know her essence, the core of who she is. This is what Stoicism tells us to do, instead of giving general praise. Make it clear if she has a special way of dealing with stress or a creative spark that other people miss. By noticing the little things about her that others miss, you're not just complimenting her, you're recognizing her unique presence in your life. And here's where the Stoic wisdom comes in. Don't just tell her she's unique, show her through your actions. This could be as simple as giving her your full attention when she talks and responding with thoughtful insights. You should always treat her with respect and admiration, because that's how you show that you value her uniqueness. When you strike this balance between words and actions, she'll start to feel truly appreciated, and she'll realize that you don't just see her as another person in your life, but as someone who truly stands out. Over time, she'll miss that feeling of being seen and valued for who she is. This method works even better because you're not acting because you need something or to impress her. Instead, you're following a Stoic concept that values what is real and authentic. You are different from others because you are not desperate. Most people would try to win her over with flattery or charm, but you're going a different route based on substance and respect. You're not trying to manipulate her feelings. Instead, you're trying to make a connection based on authenticity, and that's rare. Eventually, when you're not available all the time, she'll start to miss the way you see her, the way you listen intently, the way you value her uniqueness, and the way you see her for who she is. Because that kind of attention is hard to find, and that's where the power lies. She'll start to crave that connection, realizing that not everyone sees her the way you do. If this speaks to you, leave a comment below and share your story, or just type, "It's important to be honest," to show that you agree with this message. Let's keep going and move on to the next key. Insight number 7. You inspire me to be my best self. Imagine you're in a moment of connection with a woman, and instead of the usual platitudes, you say something that really hits home. You inspire me to be my best self. Now think about how powerful that statement is. It's not just a compliment. It's a reflection of how she's affected your life. And here's the key. When you say it this way, you're leaving an impression that will last long after you're gone. The people we spend time with should help us elevate our character, which is similar to what Sebastiana said about hanging out with people who will make you better. When you tell her she inspires you, you're not just showing love. You're recognizing her role in your personal growth, something much more important than a physical praise could ever do. Being around you makes me want to be the best version of myself. This goes beyond just being nice. It's a direct statement of her influence in your life, which not many people get to hear. Let's take it a step further. Maybe she's inspired your ambition in ways you hadn't realized before. Maybe her courage in pursuing her own goals has inspired you to get serious about your own dreams. Or maybe her compassion and kindness inspire you to be more understanding in your own relationships and interactions with others. No matter what it is, You're making her realize that she's a key figure in your journey of self-improvement, and when she hears this, she'll see that she's more than just good company. It's a catalyst for your personal growth. Stoics believe that the best kind of friendship and connection is one that promotes inner virtue and personal growth. When you tell her that she inspires you to grow, you're not only pointing out how she affects you, but you're also framing your relationship as one that is based on mutual betterment. Here's the beauty of it. When she knows she's making you better, she'll start to want to be around you too. Being with you makes her feel valued in a way that isn't often seen. She'll feel like she's not only liked for her looks or personality, but also for how she helps you grow. This creates a bond that's hard to forget. When she's not with you, she'll miss being that important influence in your life. She'll want to return to that feeling of being seen for the deeper qualities that make her unique and valuable to you. This is where the Stoic lesson comes in. By valuing her for how she inspires your growth, you're building a connection that's based on something solid and lasting, unlike relationships that are based on short-term excitement. These words show that you value and respect each other's growth as people. If you can make that kind of deep connection, she won't just think of you when you're together. She'll also think of you when you're apart and miss the effect she has on you. That's the kind of lasting impression that will keep her coming back again and again. Number 8. Imagine sitting across from a woman and not just complimenting her on how she looks or how she's dressed. Those are shallow things that are quickly forgotten. But instead, you say things that have meaning and depth. In Stoicism, we learn that words are powerful tools that are meant to communicate more than just surface-level thoughts. When you tell a woman you have such a kind heart, you're acknowledging a part of her that goes beyond the surface and speaks to the core of who she is. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is that we should value what is inside a person, their virtues, rather than things that can change, like how pretty they are or how successful they are. For example, you could tell a woman how kind she is. Her kindness or compassion shows that you see her for who she really is, not just for the surface traits that fade over time. You're showing her that you see the good in her, and that can leave a lasting impact because it speaks to her core values, the part of her that stays the same no matter what is going on around her. Let's look at an example. She may be used to getting praise on how she looks or how well she does her job, but you stand out when you notice how she treats other people and how she helps them out without expecting anything in return. A woman may get many compliments on her looks, but when someone notices how kind she is or how she can help others without expecting anything in return, it hits her hard. That's when she feels truly seen. In Stoic terms, focusing on her virtues is in line with the idea of recognizing what is eternal in a person. The way you talk to her about her inner qualities shows how much you understand and are aware of her. This kind of compliment lingers long after the conversation has ended. She may go through her day reflecting on your words, thinking about how they may made her feel not just appreciated but deeply understood. And that understanding, that emotional connection, is what creates a lasting memory in her mind. When you focus on her virtues, you're planting the seeds of something more meaningful than simple admiration. She'll think of you not just as someone who noticed her, but as someone who understood her. This is how you create a space where she begins to miss your presence, as few people in her life have spoken to her in a way that touches the depths of her character. Your words, anchored in Stoic wisdom, resonate with her long after the moment has passed. They elevate the conversation beyond the surface and into something truly meaningful, which is a rare and powerful thing in today's world. Through such thoughtful communication, you build a connection that transcends the temporary and leaves her reflecting on your words, craving more of that deep, genuine interaction. In the end, it's not just what you say, but how you see her that lingers in her mind, making her miss the unique way you made her feel truly seen. Number 9. You make every moment special. Picture this. You're sitting next to her, the talk is going well, the mood is light, and you can feel the connection. At that moment, you tell her, you make every moment special, not just a compliment, but a reflection of how her presence changes the way you experience the world. You're not just saying she's fun to be around, you're recognizing her unique ability to make even the simplest moments more meaningful. This is what sticks in her mind, making her feel valued and loved in ways that go beyond the surface from a Stoic point of view. This kind of acknowledgement is powerful because it roots itself in the present moment, something Stoics value deeply. The idea of living in the here and now, of fully embracing what's in front of you without distractions, is key when you tell her that she makes every moment special. You are, in a way, practicing this Stoic mindfulness. You're focusing on what matters right now, not worrying about what's out of your control or dwelling on what's next. It shows her that you value the time you spend together, which is a rare and attractive trait. But here's the twist by doing this. You're not overplaying your hand. You're not constantly showering her with compliments or being overly attentive. Instead, you're using this recognition sparingly, making it all the more meaningful in Stoicism. Restraint is vital. Too much attention can become noise, but thoughtful, well-timed words have impact. By telling her that she makes each moment unforgettable, you're planting a memory in her mind, one that will stay with her long after the moment has passed, in a subtle yet powerful way. This acknowledgement causes her to reflect on your time together when you're apart. Because Stoicism teaches us to find peace in simplicity, you're showing her that you don't need elaborate dates or constant stimulation to make a moment meaningful. You're able to take the everyday and turn it into something extraordinary with your calm, grounded presence. This taps into her emotions in a way that makes her long for more of these experiences with you. And here's where the Stoic wisdom really kicks in, by making her feel this way. You don't need to chase her or flood her with attention. You're letting the memory of the time you shared do the work for you. She will start to miss the way you made her feel, the calm yet significant energy you brought into her life, and she'll want more of that in her mind. The anticipation will build, and she'll find herself looking forward to the next time you can be together, to recreate those unforgettable moments. In this way, Stoicism teaches us that less can truly be more. By being present, by giving value to the small moments, and by knowing when to speak and when to hold back, you create an emotional connection that lingers in her mind. She'll miss you, not because you're trying to make her miss you, but because you've given her a genuine, meaningful experience that she won't easily find elsewhere. As we wrap up today's exploration of how to deepen your connections and make her miss you, remember that the art of communication is about more than just words. It's about intention, mindfulness, and genuine expression. By using the phrases we discussed, you're not just creating memorable moments, you're forging a deeper bond that keeps you present in her thoughts, even when you're out. So reflect on the power of your words and the connections you create. Share your thoughts in the comments. What resonated with you? Did any of the phrases stand out as something you'd like to try? And if you found this video valuable, please like it, share it with friends, and subscribe for more insights that can transform your relationships. Check out the videos on the screen for more information on how to learn the language of attraction and apply Stoic wisdom to your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.